Hello, welcome to Chinese Genealogy's research webinar. Today's webinar is on reading and understanding Jiapu. This webinar has two parts. This is part 2. My name is Lena Wakefield. I am an Asia Research Specialist in Family History Library. Let's start with what is a Jiapu. Jiapu is an important part of Chinese genealogy. It is a family genealogy record, including lineage structure that shows mostly male descendants in linked patrilineal sequence. During this webinar, together we will learn what's in a Jiapu, what to look for in a Jiapu, and how to extract information from a Jiapu. This is the meat of the Jiapu, where we can find information of each individual ancestor. This particular style of Jiapu is called the Imperial style table. Notice you read this Jiapu from right to left. And on the top in bold are the name of the individual. Now, again, in a patrilineal system, they usually just record the male members of the family. So here are the names of the sons. And underneath each column is individual information pertaining to this person. So let's take a look. First, in bold on the top, we have name. In this case, this person's name is Shao Xian. Following that, on the bottom, you can find more personal information such as which generation he was from. In this case, 16th generation. You can also find out his courtesy or literary name, how many sons he had, and the name of his son. Now, to transfer this information to the next column, you would take the name of his father and move it to the next column on the top, as such. And then on the bottom, you will list the name of the son. So right here, bottom part of this column will be the information for this son. Other information you can find in Imperial style table are things such as pattern of movement. This individual moved to a different province with his brother. Also, place of burial, wife's family's name and ancestral village, wife's place of burial, his achievement in Imperial exam and the office he held while he was alive. So it goes on for each individual in this table, and the information pertaining to that individual will be just right beneath the name. Next, let's take a look at traditional mourning clothing system. In this Jiapu, this family has included the traditional mourning clothing system that has the following information: clothing for the mourning period when a family member dies, eating habit, for example, what type of food to avoid during the mourning period, living arrangement. Some require the sons build a tent by the grave for a certain period of time and live there, or no shaving, no showering, or no wedding. This is a chart that lists a different mourning system. It might look a little complicated at first, but what it is a chart to tell you when a certain family member passed away, what type of system you should follow. For example, for this person, mother, you would follow a system called 斩催, which is 3 years of mourning. Next level down, you have 祭催, which is 3 years to 3 months of mourning. Next, you have 大公, which is 9 months of mourning. Next level down, you have 小公, 5 months of mourning. Last, you have 司马, which is 3 months of mourning. Now here on this page, is more in-depth detail of what they could wear during the mourning period, including length of dress, size of sleeve, belt material, shoes, and hairdress, including hair accessories and head covering. Most of these materials are made of hemp. Right here on this page, it gives instruction on what system to follow for different members of the family. And we just want to kind of go through some of the vocabulary here to let you get familiar with different names and different roles, especially for the female members in the family. Let's start with the male, top 3 right here. Right here in the middle, you have birth father. And then you have stepfather who lives with you. Right here, stepfather who doesn't live with you. Next, you have mother. And then right here, you have Yangmu, which is adopted mother. Right here, Dimu, which is your father's first wife. Now, this female is not your birth mother, but she is your father's first wife. Next, you have Jimu, stepmother, and Cimu. Cimu is a name that a child of a concubine called another concubine who raised him or her after the death of his and her birth mother. Next, we have Jiapu. Jiapu is a birth mother who remarried after the death of father. Shumu. Shumu is father's concubine. Chumu is a birth mother who was divorced by father. And right here, last but not least, you have Rumu, who is just a wet nurse to the child. It is really interesting. They have so many different names for the female in the family. For a big family, I guess it is very important to be able to tell the different roles that they play. All right, next we have a correction section where they have recorded the mistakes that was found and made throughout the Jiapu. So instead of going back and reprint the whole Jiapu, they usually just add kind of like a extra booklet at the end attached to the Jiapu explaining the errors they found and the correction they made. So the next page right here is the explanation of why they included correction section. And right here is what the correction looks like. They will include the page number of the error. For example, right here, 222 is the number of the page, and then they will list the correction right next to it. This system makes it really easy to cross-reference. Like I said before, this is a very detailed and well done Jiapu. Your Jiapu might or might not look like this. But whatever information you have, it is important to know what to look for and how to identify those information. I hope this webinar give you some idea and give you some inspiration and a head start on finding your Jiapu and your family history. This concludes our part 2 of Reading and Understanding Jiapu webinar. Before we leave, I would like to share a few quotes with you. Eventually, all genealogists come to the census. And I like this one. I'm tracing my ancestors, so I'll know who to blame. And this is important. If at first you don't succeed, search again. That is why we call it research. And honestly, the journey is part of the fun. Thank you for watching and happy researching.